G'day and welcome to chapter 20 of my RX323 Resto videos. In this video we tackle two tasks. One is the exhaust system. The exhaust system on this car, as you saw, it's a 4-port motor, but it's out of an RX3 and it's built more specifically for that type of body shape and engine setup. So the problem I had was the 4 pipes that run out of this thing. There's just not enough room down next to the chassis rail, and goes way down too low on the ground. So I need to shorten up the exhaust pipes, put 2 into 1, so I've got 2 pipes going up over this between the chassis rail and the steering box, so there's enough room to clear. It's just a temporary exhaust just so I can get the car started. So I go into how I fabricate that out of the original exhaust I've got. Bit of welding, bit of cutting, bit of fun. So the next thing I need to do is the vacuum system on the car. Because the car's bridge ported, you really need to ensure you've got sufficient vacuum for your brakes. So I'm going to install a vacuum tank. It's just a bit of plumbing, rubber hoses, a few fittings into the engine, and then mount up the tank up underneath in the guard. So this is chapter 20. I hope you enjoy it. So the method to the madness of why I'm putting this brake booster canister vacuum tank, whatever you want to call it, on the car is mainly for this. The engine is bridge ported, and the whole idea of having brakes is having vacuum assist, and the vacuum assist is very important, which allows you to give you more brake pressure on the car. With a bridge ported motor, it's like having a big cam in a normal engine, so there's lots of overlap and there's minimal chance of getting vacuum. So whatever vacuum you have, you try and store as much as you can, so you have as much vacuum going to your booster all the time. So hence why, with the limited vacuum that you can get from a bridge ported motor, you've got to try and store as much as you can. So hence the vacuum tank. So that'll store as much as possible. It'll all get held in there by the one-way valve like you do on your normal booster. So how it'll run, so this fitting here, this end here, will go into the manifold. I've got this little port here which will go off, just a vacuum line off the ECU for a reference port. Vacuum will then run out of this end here and run off down into the tank, into the one-way valve, and then out of the tank and up to the booster. So that's the general gist of it. So yeah, there's been lots of debate whether I should be doing it or not. You know, it's probably $300, but if I'm hooting along, doing a lot of wide open throttle acceleration with not much vacuum in between, well, it might just give me the opportunity to have one last break before I run out the back of a truck. So that's the plan with that. Okay, so this is my RX7 Series 2 front brake disc and strut area. So I'm in the front wheelhouse area here. So this is the front of the car, it's the front bumper bar, and this is the inner wheel arch area. So what I plan to do is, because I've got the wheel will go around here, so there's heaps of room up in this area here, up near the headlight. So one vacuum tank like that, looks like a beer for chugging. So plan is just to move that as far forward as I can, and I'll mount that just up in there out of the way, and then I'll run some the tubes up through some bulkhead fittings through the inner guards just here, and then up one through the booster. So from the vacuum from the engine down through into one, so that's got the one-way valve in there already. So it's like in your brake booster you have a one-way valve there as well, so that's already in this tank. And the other one just so you got your suction from your engine into here and through the one-way valve and back out. So as you can see, I've been down to my favourite place, Speedflow again, because they love taking all my money, and I've gone and bought some more fittings. So I've got some bulkhead fittings, nuts for the bulkhead fittings, so some fittings for the vacuum line, right angle fittings, so they come off and go right angle as well. And so this is just up for the port, and I can put that little one in there, screws in there for my vacuum line off to my ECU, and the adapter out of the manifold into there. So just to give you an idea, just these fittings here alone, I think probably about $120 all up for all this stuff. So it's not horrendously expensive, but not cheap either. So let's put it all together. So I'm going to have my vacuum running out of the back of the manifold, down along here, and then down through this, really two holes in the bottom of the battery tray, in through the inner guard and back out again, and back along the side of the thing and up to the brake booster. So I've got to make up the brackets, drill some holes, put some fittings in. It's time to get started. So this is what I'm going to put through the inner guard. So the nut goes on one end, so I'll drill a hole just to put this through. Just a big enough hole, I think it's 12, 14 mil. So I'll get my favourite tool I've ever bought, which is my step drill out, and start drilling. Okay, so there you have it. I've drilled those two holes now down to 14 mil. I've just also touched up around the holes with some touch-up paint from when I repainted the engine bay. So those holes are all done. So I've mounted the tank up underneath the inner guard now, so you can see it's in, they're all nice and tight. I've just put clamps on these lines just to secure them, just so they don't come off, just with all the water and stuff that'll splash around, just to be sure, but they're all nice and solid there. So I've hooked up the lines now and put the battery tray back in, as you can see, and the lines go up over here. There's a pickup off the manifold with the T-piece to the vacuum line, and the other line loops up around and hooks up to the booster. I've decided to take a bit of a break from doing all the wiring and playing around doing all this stuff, and I thought I'd have a crack at doing the exhaust. As you might have seen in previous videos, so we've got a 4-port here, a normal port and a side port for the exhaust. So there's 4 tubes that come out of this exhaust system. So when the 4 tubes go up and then down past the steering box there's just hardly any room to get 4 pipes down there. So what I thought I'd try and do is get them 2 into 1. So I have 2 pipes instead of 4 pipes. Then I'll have enough clearance. So I'm going to try and give that a crack. So the first thing I need to do is make a template. So I've just got a bit of cardboard here and just cut it out and just mark the holes so that'll cover the 4 ports. Then I'll make a template because I need to be able to bolt the flanges of the pipes to something solid before I weld them. So this is what I've come up with. It's a nice big thick bit of steel plate. So I've marked it all out, all the bolts. They're 10 mil bolts. So we've got the main rotor housing port and the side port, which is there. I've marked it front, top and bottom. So that will be now my template to go into the engine, so I can bolt the flanges to this. So when I weld the tube from this to this pipe, it should stay straight. So this is the side plate exhaust flange, and you've got the rotor housing exhaust flange. Then we have another rotor housing exhaust flange, and another side housing flange. So with this one here, this pipe was just here. So I've just cut it off here, just cut it straight with the angle grinder, just trimmed up that. I've just started to shape that so it'll fit onto there. So this is my template, my plate. I've drilled my holes in it. This is the front flange and the plate housing, so it'll just go on there like that. Just to keep it all nice and tight. And I'll just screw it down with some bolts just to hold it all flat and level against this plate. Then, as you can see, I've drilled a hole in the pipe using this step drill just to get so I get a nice tight radius around there, and around there. And I've shaped that up, so that'll all just go on there. So that's 1.5 inch steel pipe. We know this one will go down and fit. So that'll be the front rotor. So the front end housing and the rotor housing, and that'll all pop into one pipe. And then I'll do now the other one. So there we have it. The exhaust is all welded up, it's still smoking. Just have to grind back some of those welds because they're a bit crappy. And I'm going to mount it up to the car and see if it fits. So that's the front rotor done, all welded up, and it actually fits. Amazing. So there's the exhaust. It's now all welded up and bolted back on, and it fits. Gee, it's a tight fit when it goes back on, but I guess that's a good thing. And just look at it from underneath. It just clears the steering box, and it goes up along here, up underneath the car. So I'm just going to weld a muffler just on the end of that. Just, as I say, it's just a temporary exhaust, and that'll do for the exhaust. And then I'll have to continue on with the wiring. Oh, yuck. Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and keep those comments coming. Some of those comments have been very, very helpful for me. You've picked up some stuff that I've missed, and the more eyes on this project, the better. So thanks very much. I appreciate all the comments and all the positive comments too. So thanks very much. I really like it. The next episode, I'll continue on doing the wiring, which is not my favourite thing to do. Thought I liked it, but it is getting a bit boring. So, I'll see you in the next episode.